All right, guys. Well, I didn't expect that, but I'll take it. So you guys just want to fire away with some questions?
What did you expect then?
Well, I mean, hey, I mean, I thought that it was, it was going to be a physical game, and I knew they had some experienced players. And so we really challenged our guys. I mean, what I was looking for this game is it's going to be a street fight. And, are we down for a street fight? Because to be a great team, you could play fast and do all these things that are cute, but unless you're down to street fight, you're going to have nights where you get out toughed. And I didn't want our team to get punched tonight. I mean, I thought that they had a potential to come in and be really physical and aggressive, and I thought our guys came out and hit first and then hit often and then kind of broke their will.
Forcing a timeout 90 seconds in, that I would assume that looks like a badge of honor that you've already thrown them off. Is that how you would look at it?
I mean, I'm on the calling timeout. Like, what do we got to do next? So I mean, I'm not looking for badges of honor. I'm looking for good possessions and on to the next thing. You know what I mean? I mean, you're right. That's impressive. It's great. I mean, it's a good sign if that happens, but it's not something that I have in my mind as like I want to make their coach call the first timeout.
So you were saying, I think you said you'd like to score in the 90s if you could. I mean, you score 104 tonight, and granted, maybe it was a little surprised, but I mean, is this the kind of thing you maybe could see more often?
Well, I'd love to. I mean, I think that we're starting to figure out how we can score easier, and some guys are figuring out how they can score easier. And hey, in college basketball, it's hard to score 90 points. An average 90 points is almost impossible this day and age. So, I mean, if you're playing consistently, if you can average over 80, you're going to be one of the top scoring teams in the country. And I just think when you can play at that pace and score like that, it puts so much pressure on the other team, and it gives you a little bit of a margin of error, on certain nights. And because, hey, your other teams, hey, there's going to be a night when it's going to be hard to get to 70, but if you can get to 70 and get some of those great defensive temes, maybe they'll struggle to get to 70 because you know what? I think we're a great defensive team. So I mean that's the reason I like to score, not because it's fun, because I think it gives us a margin for error.
What have you seen out of Christian through the first two games?
I mean, I told you guys all along, he's really good. I mean, he's a really good player, and I mean, I think he's a force. He impacts the game every possession at both ends. And I think he's going to gain more and more confidence as the year goes on. And, I think people are going to really they're going to have their hands full figuring out what to do with him.
What do you think of Jules' performance tonight? 20 points, 9 rebounds.
I mean, I've challenged Zoo, all year on being more physical, playing better defense. He's checking all those boxes. And I think he could be the best running big man in the country. If you notice, he's running the floor. And CeeLo's trailing. That's because Zoo is so fast, and I just think if he's playing against other fours, he has an advantage in early transition post-ups.
Ben started out slowly again today, but kind of picked it up in the second half.
Yeah. I mean, I think Ben's feeling his way. I mean, he's been a little bit inconsistent, and I think he'd tell you that. It was good to see him hit those threes, and the thing that I'm looking for Ben, and when it's all going to start making sense for him is when he lets loose with his effort over an extended period of time. Now he's maybe picking and choosing his effort spots a little bit, and if you go back and watch film, you see some, where he's kind of pausing or hesitant in the action, and I'm talking like to a loose ball, to a rebound block out, to a defensive assignment. I'm not talking like hesitant to shoot. And I think when those synapses kind of tighten a little bit, I think he's going to turn into a force. And I know we're on the right path for him. I've been down this path with good players like him before, and we just got to stay on it, and he'll figure it out.
Part of it is just getting used to the system as in his role and having to read where other guys are going to be and maybe get.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Ben's ever played in a movement-based system, and now that he is, and the beauty of the system is rarely are we calling plays for any individual. The plays are happening randomly, and so I can't necessarily dictate who is going to be in the next action or who's going to get the next screen or we're going to get a shot here. But that's also what makes it really hard for the defense to figure out. And so he'll get more comfortable in it, and he'll learn how to pick and choose his spots and where he can have a ton of success. I mean, he's had success. Now he just needs to have it a little bit more consistently.
When you talk about Christian, is there about his blocks in particular? Is there anything you've noticed been working on that's made him better there, or is it just a matter of him experience, confidence, timing, anything in particular?
Well, he's probably always been a great shot blocker. And, we've worked with some things on some of his vertical contest. I mean, I think you're starting to see our guys are really coming over. And like the vertical contest Pella had, I thought was like, that was when I know, okay, he's close to back. He came over and it was a foul, but he delivered a blow. And it was like, I mean, if you're going to come down in here, it ain't going to be easy. And so I think he's just kind of increased his physicality. CeeLo has, and he's taken rim protecting serious. And the block shots are great. Because they can lead to a fast break. But so is a great vertical contest missed layup. That's where a lot of your fast breaks start.
Does the shirts you have, or is Brian back in the Emoy category now?
No, I mean, it's a little thick, a little warm, and I was sweaty tonight, so I think I have to figure out how to pronounce the acronym. It was like equipment manager of last year. So we added an L in there, and we'll see if we can drop the L here. So he's working.
So you want, and I was wondering if that was like a trend now. You have some of your assistants are wearing short sleeves, some are wearing long.
Well, I mean, to be honest, this is a sweatshirt. I like wearing sleeves because sometimes I get a little cold on the bench, but I was almost sweating a little bit tonight. So I would like a little thinner, but hey, beggars can't be choosers. So
The turnovers tonight is
not happy. I'm not happy with those. I mean, we got to take care of the ball. We got to take care of the ball. I mean, you play fast, but you play with fundamentals, and you can't let your guard down because like I said, a lot of these plays are happening randomly. So you have to have a foundation of fundamentals and trust simple decisions. And if you get a little greedy, I mean, now you're making hard plays. Well, hard plays lead to turnovers. So it's something we'll definitely address. And like I told you, 6 is an anomaly last game. 18, it better be an anomaly because we need to be right in the middle of those two is probably the ideal spot.
You had 12 in the first half. I didn't know, you felt, was part of that just because things were going so well offensively, maybe guys got a little careless, or, this is a team, too, that was pretty good defensively?
I mean, I think they're probably scrappy, and I bet we go back and look at it. I mean, our guys put themselves in tough spots and didn't make great decisions. I mean, that's usually what turnovers come down to. So, you got to put yourself in better spots. You got to make better decisions. It's not a complicated solution.
You also said 25 of 28 made baskets on assists was an anomaly, and another 25 this time, a few more baskets. Is that just proving that they're fitting into what you want, and it's not just a lot of individual drives?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think there's great joy in making an assist, right? Like, I mean, you're doing something for somebody else, and you create a culture where, guys feel as good about making an assist as they do a 3. Now you got something. And you know what? You always think you have it. You think you're right there, and then human nature creeps in, and it's like, well, why can I score more? Why can I? So it's a constant battle of just fighting that fine line of, making plays for other and finding your opportunities.
Are you good with the amount of threes?
Listen, I think what were we in the first half from 3? We were 4 for on the right side. Okay, listen, testing my eyes here. 4 for 15. You know what we were from 2? 16 to 17. So what does that tell you we should do? Shoot more 2s. I mean, the value of the 2-point shot is so underrated because they're at the rim, they're foul pressure. You're pinning fouls on guys. So they're getting their best players are on the bench. Rather than just jacking a lot of 3s. So, hey, I thought all the 3s, if you went back and watched them isolated, they're probably all pretty good shots. But when you look at the context of what we were doing, maybe we should hey, there's nothing wrong with making a bunch of 2s. I mean, you can score 100 points making a bunch of 2s. So, it's a little bit of a give and take. And hey, I don't want to crush their spirit and tell them they can't take the 3s, but I just think we just have to have a little better feel. And maybe as we get a little more experience, we'll walk that fine line a little better.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
You guys
Thanks,
have a
Coach.
good one. See you Tuesday.
Thanks.